Hello YouTube family, and welcome into a video where I review a bunch of products that I have gotten from Wet n Wild. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of doing the top 5, bottom 5 that I had planned on, I have way more products and a lot of these products are fairly new. So I just thought that I'd do all about a brand, but definitely giving you what my top 5 picks are, and then kind of rating the other ones as don't get this no matter what, or yes, get this and it'd be really good. So let's get started into it right away. I'm going to pick a lot of things that I really didn't like up first. The first thing that I really don't like because of the way it performed is the Wet n Wild pressed powder, the photo focus one. I'm going to show you this and you're going to see immediately what the problem is. The problem is that it immediately got a film over top of it, and I keep having to scrape over and over again to get the powder out at all, and I'm not all about that. If that powder isn't going to come out with a brush, then there's something wrong with it. I'm not exactly sure what the problem with this is, but this is a definite no in my book. That's just my thing. The other thing that I thought was horrible was the Max Volume Mascara from Wet n Wild. It did not build up. It is a rubberized wand right there. Nothing too spectacular about it. It didn't build. It didn't dry down afterwards. So it was like it was clumpy, and it just did not do anything for my lashes. And my lashes are feeling the pressure from whatever has been going on in my body, and they're not doing good anyway. So that was not my favorite. Also, this is the Dewy Face Primer from them. I didn't like this one either. It went on very wet. I felt like my face was very wet. It just was not a good thing for me. I'm not exactly sure how this is supposed to act other than being dewy, and that is not what my primers are all about. Now I could probably put this on underneath another primer, but then you're just adding layers and you risk getting more texture on your skin when you do this. So this one was a hard pass for me. The next thing that is a hard pass for me is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Ombre Blush. Now in the pan this looks really pretty. It even has kind of a little bit of a violet cast over here and then your pink, but it went on like it was white on my skin. It is one of those that is just like, really? What are you trying to accomplish here? And I was just thinking that anybody that is even the slightest bit darker than a porcelain person could not wear this. This one is their gel lip liner. The reason that I'm not crazy about this, it has a retractable automatic pencil, which I do like. But the reason that I'm not crazy about this is not because of its pigment. It's because it bled a lot. And, you know, lip liners are supposed to keep your lipstick from bleeding. So I feel like that really wasn't a very good one. Another thing that was a very hard pass is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit eyeshadows. This, when I paint it on here, you're going to think, well, that's pretty. What's wrong with you, Melissa? And it is pretty. But what happens is that there was no pigment in it. It is just like a shimmer veil top coat type thing. So even though it looks really like a greenish gold in there, it just doesn't come across that way once it gets on your eyes, because for one thing, you need to be able to build these up. You need to use them in layers. Otherwise, they really will flake on you throughout the day. It did not dry down either. They don't dry down right away. You're going to have a problem with it transferring up into whatever shade you use on your transition. Okay, Toddy raved about this Wet n Wild Perfect Pout Lip Scrub in Watermelon. It smells fantastic. It smells like watermelon bubblegum is what it smells like. But my pot, and I don't know if this is different than what she got, my pot is so hard that I can't even get any of that product out without digging like crazy into there. And there's the product. It has no balm in it whatsoever. There is absolutely no balm in it. So when I'm done, you know, like scraping and it's really chunky, by the way, when I'm done like scraping my lips with the goop that's in here, I don't have a balm left. So I was not impressed with that one. This is the Wet n Wild Velvet Matte Lip Color. I did not like the way this wore. I didn't like that their colors were too vibrant and just not I really thought that this was going to be like a muted like lilac, and I get it out and it's just hot pink. That's all it is. So I felt like they're misleading in their colors that they have on here. And I felt like every single color that they had, they were just like neon bright. So I wasn't crazy about that. Okay, let's get into the ones that I feel like were kind of in the mid-range. The first one that I could take it or leave it. It wasn't like a super outstanding product, but I could take it or leave it. Was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer Water Spray. Okay, it had a pretty good spray on it, but it did put out a lot and it squirted a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. That's usually the deciding factor for me, is if it very first spurts on my face, I'm going to go, no, I'm not going to use that. But it did okay, especially for it being a primer water that you use beforehand. I don't feel that primer waters are super necessary in anybody's routine unless you have very dry skin and you just like that feeling before you start your makeup. That's up to you. So I don't really have an opinion on this, whether it was like the best primer water I've used or not. Another thing that fell in that midline category is the concealer. I did put this in a drugstore favorite, but so many of them I've tried recently where I've been like, okay, this one it's just okay. It's not great. It is along the lines, if you guys have ever tried the Urban Decay naked concealers, it is along the lines of that. So it's got a medium coverage on it. If you have really dark circles and you like full coverage, this is not for you. But if you just barely have a few that you don't worry about too much, I think this is a really good one. So I think that the wearability on it is great. It blended in real well. Do I feel like it accentuated lines? I feel like every concealer accentuates your lines. So it's kind of a trade-off as far as that's concerned. But you know, as far as it creasing, if I powdered it well, it didn't crease. But then when you powder, you do look like you know, Night of the Living Dead on your eyes. So that kind of thing. Another thing, this is starting to get into more of my favorites. Another thing that I did pick up was the loose pigment. And of course, I picked up purple. What else would I pick up? It has this little flip lid right there, which means that it's not going to get everywhere. And I did think as a pigment, it performed really well. But you would have to build this up a bit if you wanted a super vibrant color. Now I put quite a bit on there, and you will see that it's a beautiful color. It's a beautiful purple. I just think it's gorgeous and I will be using it. But it definitely wasn't one that I felt like was highly pigmented for it being a loose pigment. Loose pigments are ones that were designed specifically for like drag makeup or makeup that they use on the stage. Loose pigments are supposed to be the ones that are super saturated. So did I feel like that? I don't feel like it's super saturated, but in a way I like it a little bit better because I'm trying to stay away from the drag makeup look. Although sometimes I get there. So, okay, the most controversial product in the Wet n Wild line, I feel like, is their Photo Focus foundation. And the reason I say it's the most controversial is because you either love it to death or you hate it to death. I love it. I think that it's great. But the reason that people don't like it is because it smells straight up like paint. And when you get it, you'll see what I mean. It doesn't like overpower me. I think I must have gotten a different batch than everybody else did that really hated that smell. And I'm not super sensitive to smells. So if that makes any sense too. So not too bad on the smell as far as I'm concerned. I do not like this delivery system, which is a paddle delivery system. I didn't like that at all. But this covers so well, wears so beautifully through the day and lasts all day long, no matter whether you're sweating or not. I love that the way that this performs. If you can get past the smell, if you can get past that, if smells don't bother you, then you're going to love this, especially at a price point of $5 to $6 in the drugstore. You can't beat that for any foundations out there. Another thing that I really did like a lot is the retractable brow pencil from them. And it has the spoolie on one end, but what I love about it is that it has the triangle tip. Hopefully you guys will be able to see that. The tip is in a triangle. So the bottom part is the fat part of the triangle, and then it comes up to the point. So as you're putting that on, you can work it in really well. And this color, let's see what color I got because I can't remember. This color is taupe. So the only thing is it is a little bit more of a stiff pencil. But I liked it because I felt like I could work with it and build and build and build on it, and it just built up easily. I might not pick the taupe again. I might pick like a soft brown or something like that because it was just a little bit too gray. But if you do have like gray hair or ashy hair, this is absolutely a perfect color for you. Okay, another thing that I really do love very much is their Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray. I think that this is so good on delivering the cross between setting your makeup down and not drying it out. I really like their other one too though. So I like both of them. The only thing I'm not absolutely 100% crazy about is their squirter, which puts out too much at once. I wish it was just a little bit more fine, but I do have a specific bottle that I will transfer these into. So I do like that. My next favorite is this Mega Glow Contouring Palette. And I think this is so good. It has the banana powder on this side and then a contour color on this side. This one is called Dolce de Leche. I'm sure that you've seen other people talk about this. It's one that I've had for a long time. It's actually my second one. I feel like it can be used as a bronzer or a contour in a pinch because it's like right on the cusp of having just a tiny bit of the orange background in it, but it still has that really cool tone to it, which I think is great. And this color right here, this banana powder, there's really creamy formula. It's really a good formula and it seems to stay a long time. So this would be one of my recommendations. Lasts forever, and especially for the price, you really can't beat that. Okay. So the last thing that we're going to get down to here is their highlighters. So what we're going to do is we're going to move up to the very top one that I think is the prettiest. So this one is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Rainbow Highlighter, and it says limited edition, and this is supposed to be everlasting glow. I saw the one that was the rainbow that actually did have like the pink, the pink and the blue and the green, and I just thought, no, I can't do that. It's just not something I can do. But this one is so pretty. The thing that they always say, you can dip your brush into just one of these colors. Well, I find that you can't do that. That's really hard to do. But if you stay on this end, you're going to get a lighter highlighter. If you go towards this end, you're going to get pink, and then there is a gold strip in here. So you will get all these colors in one, but what's great about it is that when it does finally mix together, so you just put your fingers across like this. When it does finally mix together, it comes out just a beautiful one. It is so pretty. So it's got these hints of gold. It's got these hints of pink and rose in there for a highlighter. And I think it's really beautiful. I really do. The next one is their Mega Glow. Their Mega Glow highlighting powder. I think they look like such high-end blushes with that imprint on them right there of the flower. I just think that is so beautiful. And you want to talk beaming space light. This is a beaming space light. So if you're looking for something more subtle, you're going to need to move on because you're not going to find it in here. That is just a straight up light you up glow. And I think it is so gorgeous. The last one that is my #1 pick from Wet n Wild ever are these, they're called shimmer palettes. They're not palettes. They've just got these super duper huge pans, and they are so pretty. They go on like glass. So you're going to swirl the product together and you're going to get your color. The first one I'm going to do is Boozy Brunch. Got gold in it, and it just has this color that is just so pretty. I just think it's one of those ones that is going to be great for fall because it has that tiny bit of gold in it. It's going to be one of those ones that is just beautiful for fall and going forward throughout the winter. The one that I love the most though is called I'll Have a Cosmo. This one has pinks in it, corals in it, really super light pink in it, and this one is my jam. I can tell you that. I love this thing. It is one of those ones that as you're wearing it, it looks like glass on your skin. Actually, both of those are. Let me see if I can swatch this on a different part of my hand for you guys. But if you want that to be built up, you can definitely get it built up. So it's right there. It is just so pretty. I just can't even begin to tell you how much I love that. So that's it for today's video. I wanted to make sure I went through all of this Wet n Wild stuff for you guys. If you do like me talking all about a brand, please give me a thumbs up and I would really appreciate that. Tell me what your favorite thing in Wet n Wild's brand is, because if I haven't tried it and you guys really like it, I'm going to try it. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me. I know your time is precious and I appreciate that so much. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.